Well, here we are at lesson 2 with our high school cyber safety and security. As you recall, lesson 1, we talked about our online identity and meeting people online and what we needed to do to be safe. Today, we're going to look at passwords. Um, as it's entitled, Another Password. What is a strong password? Now, most experts agree that you should have at least 7 characters, including numbers, upper and lowercase letters, and some symbols. However, that can be hard to remember, particularly when you start having multiple passwords that you have to remember. So, one suggestion is to use a sentence with a number in it. And that way you have the upper and lowercase because a sentence begins with a capital letter. It ends with a period or some type of punctuation, an exclamation mark or a question mark. That would be the symbols. You add a number to it, you have that, and then of course your lowercase letters. So we have an example here. I too love FSO. So that would be an example of a good password. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 characters. Well, how many passwords should you have? Well, internet safety experts at teenangels.org, they recommend a different password for each social networking site with which you are a member. So that means we talked last lesson about Facebook and Twitter and Skype and Ning and MobileMe. So for each of those accounts, you would have a different password, a different strong password. However, to go a step further, most experts recommend a different password for each online account, regardless of the type. So that means your checking account, if you do that online, you need an extremely strong password for that. You might bank online, or rather pay bills online, and your utility bill, so you need a separate password for that. All of your social networks, you need a password for that. So why is it that we need these passwords? And when we have the strong passwords, can they be compromised? So we're going to stop here for a moment, and we're going to do a little bit of discussions about passwords and how many of you may have them. Of course, we don't want to know what they are, and also how regularly you change them. So let's stop for a minute. We're going to have a little discussion and then come back. Okay, we're going to pick up with our lesson after our discussion, and we had talked about changing, how often you should change your password. Experts disagree, but for the most part, once a week to once a month, depending on the type of account. The more sensitive the information in the account, the more often you should change it. Large businesses tend to prompt employees to change passwords every 30 days. And here at the school district, that's how often it is. We're required to go in and change our passwords once a month. Another point, can I ever share my password? No, 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 no. According to Cisco's Wired Safety Internet site, over 70% of teens have shared their password with one person, and that's one person too many. And it tends to be the boyfriend or the girlfriend, and then the breakup happens, and then things can get very, very messy. So you don't ever want to do that, not at all. It is your password. Keep it to yourself. If you have to demonstrate your love or your friendship, find another way. Say, yeah, you're my friend and I trust you. Just let's try something else other than your password. And then finally, when should I save my password? And normally it's pretty safe if you're saving your password and or login. If it's a private computer, one that's used exclusively by you or is in the home, it's in your den and it's the family computer, it's okay to go ahead and save passwords on those computers. However, what you do not want to do is to save information to any public computers. No personal information whatsoever, not passwords, login, or any sensitive personal information. Okay, well, we've talked about this, and with our discussion, it seems as though you guys have a pretty good feel for passwords. The information we shared about a stronger password, a lot of you seem to have liked that. So hopefully what we're going to see is implementation of it. Now, your assignment that you have to create is that I've already set up a time with our elementary schools where you guys are going to go out and you're going to talk to them about the information that you've learned in these first 2 weeks about online identity and making friends online, and also about setting up passwords. So that's been established. We're going to hand out the information when you come to class. And what you will need to do, however, is don't forget your blog posts. When you log out of here, you can go ahead to back to the home page and look at that. And actually, it would be good if you made a post tonight. Your posts from last week or 2 weeks ago, they were very, very good, and I was glad to see that interaction. Okay, so until our third meeting, happy discussions. Good job, guys. Good job.